Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, chaos in the United Kingdom. Templars will be arising. We are going to be talking on this live stream about what is coming next. I'm not interested about regurgitating news that's happening now, telling you guys what's happening at this hotel, what's happening at that hotel, what the government have said. I'm telling you in this live stream what is coming over the next couple of months, the next couple of months to a year. Now, let's just have a little recap. Let's just go back in time before this summer of chaos started, the summer of carnage. One of the things I was saying is, to unite people, you have to have something people can unite behind. And I said it's either going to be a song, it's going to be a piece of music, something that unites people, something that's ideological. And what we have seen now, what is emerging, and you can't predict these. It's not going to be one person saying, follow me. It's not going to be this guy saying, listen to me, we should do this. It's going to be an idea. And I believe that idea has manifested itself in the sign of the Cross of St. George. Now, I've been seeing this a lot of places, guys. It is, it's on lampposts. People are using spray paint to put it literally everywhere. And that right now is what's uniting people, that Cross of St. George. So that is something I said, but Sean, you said it was a song. No, I said it was going to be something ideological. You can never predict these things. They're very difficult to, but it's always something that's going to be ideological. Now, what's going to happen next? And I have said this before, and I'll tell you how this is going to develop. So I've said before that what will happen is, you guys can remember me talking about when you reach a critical mass at a protest. So for every 100 people, you might get one person who is going to go absolutely crackers. Doesn't matter what you say, what you do. Like, the statistics may be slightly different, but you see where I'm coming from. So for every 100 people, for example, you get one person who is going to go absolutely crackers. They're going to go bananas. Whatever happens, they're going to be going wild. For every one of those you might get 4 people who, if they see someone going crackers, they might go semi-crackers, and it evolves in that aspect. So this is what I talk about when you reach a critical mass. Now, I believe that critical mass has been reached. I do, guys. I believe that critical mass has been reached. Now, what's going to happen is, because the politicians will do nothing to help people, they'll do nothing to ease the problems. What's going to happen is that 1%, it might be 1% of 1%. It doesn't matter, because the critical mass has been reached. That 1% of people, they are going to start moving from the George's Cross to the Templar Cross. Now, guys, listen, if you guys know know about symbology, if you understand what the Cross of St. George means, you'll understand what the Templar Cross means. And look, this is when you'll get small groups, cells, you'll get cells operating independently. And those cells that are operating independently, what those cells operating independently will do, it might be 4 or 5 young lads on a council estate operating together, thinking, right, we don't want these people living near us, so we're just going to do whatever we can to get them out. And that's what we're going to evolve into. Why am I saying this? How do I know this? History. Ladies and gentlemen, historically, this is what's happened. If you look at the conflict in Northern Ireland, I've got a frog in my throat. If you look at, it wasn't a conflict. If you look at the troubles in Northern Ireland, that is exactly what happens. You get segregation, you get degradation, you get people who don't believe the government are listening to them. You got people who don't believe they feel they're not being listened to. And once that happens, that's when things evolve. That's when things take it to the next level. So now you've got the protests outside the hotels. I don't think it's going to change anything, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, we know it's not going to change anything, don't we? We actually know that it's not going to change anything. So I don't know why people are protesting outside hotels. this is all going to lead, ladies and gentlemen, it's all going to lead to a mass exodus. Sorry, it will lead to a mass exodus to Antarctica, but in the short term, it's going to lead to an American intervention. Now, just real quick, guys, I want to share this video that Elon Musk posted earlier. Now, it's a 34-second video. Just listen to the absolute contempt in this video.
Under your guidance have said in terms that the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local people in Epping Forest.
So
at least
so here we have it, guys. You know, Sky News, the anchor is questioning, what's her name? I think her name, I don't know her name. But he's questioning a Labour MP, and he's saying it's quite clear the government have said that the rights of migrants in the hotels outweigh the rights of the people in Epping. And he's asking her, does she agree with what he's saying? And Elon Musk posted this, guys.
Knowledge that is what they will hear. And it's up to you. Ministers can say we agree with that or we don't agree with it. You can't simply say, let's balance things. Do you agree with what your lawyers said or don't you?
Yes, of course we do. But
there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Literally, like, I don't know what other words we can say to this, guys. And look, before I go on, guys, all right, I'm pro-military, I'm pro-police, I'm pro-government. I want to have a strong legal system. I want to have robust policing, you know, but what does it mean? Does it mean, you know, we only have robust policing? We only have, oh, Steve-O, can you hear me? Steve-O's saying, I can't hear you. I don't know, Steve-O. Am I muted? Am I muted, Steve-O? I don't know if Steve-O's saying I can't hear you. Okay, sorry, Steve-O. I don't know. Must have been a little glitch. And I'm just going to, so listen, guys, this is what Elon Musk posted. I'm having to slope his shoulders because I don't want to get Lucy Conlid, guys. I don't want to get Lucy Conlid. So this is what Elon Musk has posted, not me. A government that puts foreigners above their own people is by definition treasonous and illegitimate. The people of Britain deserve a government that represents their interests, not those of shadowy foreign organizations. I don't know, guys. Do you think he's right? Do you think Elon Musk's right? Or do you think the government should represent shadowy organizations that fund people, the Fabian Society, whoever Lord Ali works for, you know, and all that sort of money? Guys, listen, it is unbelievable what's happening. Right, I'm just going to jump onto the comments, guys. The comments are open, so they are a little bit wild. Steve-O is saying, can we, hang on, Steve-O, there he is. I had to catch Steve-O because the chat was going. Steve-O is saying, can we still hang for treason? No, Tony Blair changed that in 1997. The first thing that the Labour government did in 1997, as I understand it, was repeal the Treason Act. So they made it no longer, you know, you can no longer be done for treason. As I understand it, yeah, the politicians can't get done for treason. That was the first thing Tony Blair did in 1997. Go figure. AJ is saying Elon is 100% right. Sorry, guys, I'm just jumping up. Sean McKay is saying the Navy can easily stop this invasion. Trump stopped it in days, weeks, didn't he? Listen, guys, Donald Trump's just posted something very weird. I don't know if you guys have. I don't know if you guys have seen what I'm talking about. I should have got it up on the screen. Donald Trump just posted something. It's like a picture of him as like AI doing. He's like doing this or something, and he's saying, "No, get ready for what's coming. Nobody can stop what's about to happen." And it was quite. You're like, what does that even mean? Like, why is he doing that? Are we talking about some sort of galactic challenge? I don't know. Listen, guys, we can't take our fingers off the pulse. Remember, There are literally asteroids heading towards us at the moment right now, guys, on a ridiculous scale. AJ is saying, I'm ex-military. What is going on isn't right. Yeah, I agree with you, AJ. It's not right. It makes no sense at all. Nobody does this by accident. Google it is saying, how would the US take over us? Good question, Google. Glad you brought it up. So I believe, listen, guys, I do believe a US takeover is coming. It has to happen. But before that happens, the United Kingdom has to be in absolute crisis, where people are screaming out for this to happen. But look, guys, I've been talking about this for over a year now. Over a year, I've been talking about the US takeover of the United Kingdom. People thought I was crazy. People thought I was absolutely crazy when I started talking about this over a year ago. And you know what? When I tell people that there's going to be a mass exodus to Antarctica, people think I'm crazy. But you know what? When it gets closer to the time, people will be like, yeah, Sean was right again. So I think the United Kingdom, look, guys, okay, let me ask you guys a few questions, all right? Does it feel like the United Kingdom is heading towards a crisis? I don't see any, like, I don't think it's controversial me saying that we are heading towards a crisis. And I don't think we're there yet. I don't, guys. I've seen countries in crisis and we're not there yet. But I do believe we're heading towards a crisis. We've got 4 more years, you know. So, and what do I mean by a crisis? And it's only a matter of time before this happens, ladies and gentlemen. It's only a matter of time before this happens. So you've got the cross of St. George. That's flying on one side of the road. Then you're going to get on the other side of the road a Palestinian flag. Down the road, you're going to have a Somalian flag. And you're going to have all these segregated areas of the UK. And they're going to be having little skirmishes with each other. That's what's coming, guys. How do I know that? History, ladies and gentlemen. History, history, history. Those who don't understand history are doomed to repeat it. We are heading towards a situation in the United Kingdom where the police have lost control, the military have lost control, and everybody is going to be in an absolute fight for themselves. At that point, the only people really who could come and help us are the Americans, and that's what I feel is going to happen. You know, the Americans will move in, they'll take control. It will be by it may be instigated by Farage with his ties to Trump. I don't know the mechanism, but I know it's coming. The mechanism will appear at some point. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to jump off screen and get a bottle of water because I am rather parched. I've just been out running. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm literally just going to go in the fridge. Sorry, guys, I was just getting a bottle of water. As you can see. I hope I don't get a restriction for drinking water. Right, guys, I've got lots of comments. I'm just going to jump down to the bottom of the comments. Triggerman is saying September the 13th will be a game changer. Rolling Thunder. I don't know what that means, Rolling Thunder. What I do think is, hang on. Danny Green. Honestly, Danny Green, so Danny Green here is saying, last year you were saying we were all going to get nuked. Danny Green, okay? Just so you know, my stance on nuclear weapons is I don't think they're ever going to be used. So I don't know where you've got that from. I don't know why, I don't know where you're saying that, but my stance on nuclear weapons is I don't think anyone's ever going to use them. The reason I don't believe that is pretty out there. I said, if you think about the conflict in Ukraine, when the Ukrainians went into the Kursk region of Russia, that was the prime time for the Russians to use a nuclear weapon. They had all the ticks in the boxes. They weren't using a nuclear weapon in Ukraine. They were using they would have been using a nuclear weapon on their own ground. Technically, they wouldn't have had to put it into a delivery method. They could have just had it, in on the back of a truck. Nobody could have done anything with, it would have been a perfect time for that use of a nuclear weapon. So I don't know where you're getting that from. Listen, guys, if you're going to troll me or call me out, actually, guys, call me out, right? If you're going to try and call me out, at least make it something relevant. Like, I've genuinely always said that I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't know where you're getting, you said we're going to be nuked just last year. I've definitely not said that. Definitely never said that, ever. Anyway, let me get some more comments. Right, sorry, Triggerman, 13th will be a game changer, Rolling Thunder. So for those guys who are going down to this protest on the 13th, I do think it's gonna be an interesting evening, guys. Right, it's gonna be absolutely wild. Danny Cheatham, Trump Christmas 2025. I don't know. Is that the I don't know. Right, sorry guys. I'm talking about the 13th now. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be going down to the protest on the 13th. I'm not. I'm not going to be going down to the protest. What I will say is those places are massive targets. They're massive targets, ladies and gentlemen. There's masses of people. It wouldn't surprise me, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me if there is a spectacular event planned for that location. There's that many people going. There's been a massive pushback in the UK. There's been a massive pushback. And I would speculate that there are people, in fact, I don't know, guys, what do you think? Do we think that in the United Kingdom, there are people sat in flats, sat in apartments, just sat there, and they're really bad, and they're planning to do bad things? Like, do you think that's happening? Do you think that's happening somewhere in the United Kingdom? I think it might be. I just think it might be a little bit. Right, guys, I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Positive programming is saying, I'm close to moving abroad. Go, right? Go. If you've got the opportunity now to get out of the United Kingdom, go, guys, honestly, because nothing good's coming. We're going to have this Templarization. And remember this now, ladies and gentlemen, remember this now. That, the George's Cross, you've got to think about the logistics of it as well. Like, I don't know, to graffiti, like if you were to graffiti a Stars and Stripes, it's a faff. You've got to do the little thing with the stars. Then you've got to do all the lines. You've got to use different colors. Literally, with a George's Cross, you just get a can of red spray paint and it's a cross. And that's it. Done. You're gone. It takes a couple of seconds. Logistically, it's elemental. It invokes and the feeling and the feeling that comes with that invocation. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, right? Before anybody, listen, this is a true story, guys. I've been getting, I'm not going to screenshot them, but I've been getting lots of people message me saying, sorry, I digress. Let me finish Positive Programming's comment and then I will come back. Sorry. Positive Programming is saying, I'm close to moving abroad. It's all set up, but I keep thinking I should stay and defend. I'm torn now. If I was you and I had kids, I would go, because nothing good's gonna come here. It's just gonna turn into chaos. It's gonna turn into carnage, and maybe you should come back when the United States intervene. So I get a lot of messages, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I've had quite a few. I don't know who they're from. They're from like strange little accounts, and they're saying like, did you know that St. George was actually a Palestinian? You should know your history. And I'm like, okay, right, whatever. And then they're saying like, actually, didn't you know that St. George was a Turkish, an Ottoman prince and never actually came to England? And guys, this is the stupidity that you're dealing with. Like, this is the absolute stupidity that you're dealing with, right? You're getting these people, right, who are arguing so they're arguing about where St. George came from, but they're totally fine with the dragon. So, like, do these people believe that there was a dragon and their only argument is that St. George was a Palestinian or an Ottoman? Like, I can't, like, honestly, like, the levels of intellect are phenomenal, guys. It's a phenomenal level of intellect. Like, they don't worry about the dragon. They're like, oh yeah, so what about the dragon? Where was he from? Well, there wasn't a dragon, stupid. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if St. George was real or not. What matters is what matters is what that symbolizes. So it doesn't matter whether he was nobody cares where he was from, and nobody cares where the dragon was from either. I don't think. What it signifies, that's what the cross of St. George signifies. So for those people who are, hang on, D. Gay Reigns is saying no carnage, no chaos. Most people in this country have no backbone, just like the government. What do we think? I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing lots of scenes in the Canary Wharf Hotel, lots of scenes in Epping. You're seeing absolute chaos starting. So I don't know. Maybe you've just been watching the BBC. Hang on. PT Armindoc is saying the British vote for Labour or Conservative. Why is that gone? The British vote for Labour or Conservative. There's no one to blame but the British. Do you know what? I agree. Do you know what? I absolutely agree. You get the government you deserve. You do. You get the government you deserve. Absolutely. And for years and years and years, people have paid heed to the warning signs. People have not thought, people have been too worried about their, have listened to lies, have not had their eyes open. For years, our country has been slowly, Fabianically destroyed from within. So ultimately, I agree. Yeah, you get the government you deserve. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are. Paul Shift is saying, when it does kick off, stay away from FEMA camps and the Red Cross. Why is that, Paul Shift? So Paul Shift's saying, stay away from FEMA camps. Well, we're not in America, so we wouldn't have a FEMA camp. But we are. What does that mean? Stay away from the Red Cross. Rachel McClelland is saying, oh, hang on. Had a put out local today where I live. Police protecting his face. Had a 30. Oh, God. I can't even. Guys, there's some. Right. When we jump over to YouTube, when we stop streaming on TikTok and we jump over to YouTube, the conversation will get a little bit more. It's like the post watershed version. Right, so pole shift is saying they will have you where they want you when the pole shift happens. So pole shift, are you saying that there's a pole shift imminent? Like, is that what we're saying? There's a pole shift imminent? Because that doesn't sound good. Maybe it's when this asteroid comes, guys. I don't know. Google it is saying wait until the autumn budget. Yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, we are in that situation now in the United Kingdom. We are where the autumn budget, in fact, let me just Google what's likely. Let me see if I can, I'm not going to do it actually. So the autumn budget, we already know that we're going to pay more for stuff. So look, guys, maybe this is one that you guys can just, guys, the chat on TikTok, I think we're doing aliens. I think we're doing aliens, guys. The chat on TikTok is going aliens. And I'm all for that, guys. I'll go aliens. Listen, guys, if we're going to go aliens, I will go full aliens on you. And I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are ready for that. Listen, guys, the crux of this live stream is chaos in the United Kingdom. I do believe we're going to start seeing the Templar cross. That Templar cross will signify that people are taking active measures. People will start prosecuting. People will start prosecuting, putting together their own target packs and prosecuting those target packs. I do believe that is coming, guys. That is coming in the near future. Segregation is coming, whereby one side of the street, you've got crosses of St. George. The other side, you've got another flag, and everybody is going to be segregated. Now, listen, guys, we're talking about aliens. We are talking about, guys, the TikTok chat is going crazy about aliens. Right, James is saying the asteroid is coming. Wormwood, get right with Jesus. So I think hang on, guys. Give me a second. So what we're talking about there is Revelation 8:10. James was talking about wormwood, which is Revelation 8:10 in the Bible. Revelation 8:10 talks about wormwood, which is an asteroid. It's heading to Earth, and it's going to poison the water source in the world. We do have we have a lot of asteroids that are coming very close to Earth. The one Apophis that gets here on Friday the 13th of April 2029, that asteroid, guys, is coming so close, it's going to be underneath satellites that we have orbiting our Earth. So I don't know, guys. Tell me if you think that's okay. Tell me if you think that's normal. I would pretty much say that people need to get their preparations ready for that date, guys. April 2029 seems like a long way, but it really isn't. I mean, we will still be under Keir Starmer at that time. Robbie is saying, I saw a disc-shaped UFO so close range during the lightning storm. It was so close I could see windows. I know some people are saying that, a lot of these things that fly around are they get charged by lightning, which would make sense. Pirate Busby is saying, I feel like an alien in England, born and bred England, now second class. Listen, you are not alone, Pirate Busby. Pirate Busby is not alone. And for those of you who are not from the United Kingdom, we have a scenario right now in the United Kingdom where our ruling political class are saying quite openly, I can't even believe I'm saying this. Every time I say this, I get cognitive dissonance. I do, and I think to myself, am I really saying this, Sean? Am I really saying this? So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a government that are saying to the people of Britain, the rights of it's unbelievable. This is what, every time I say it, guys, I have to make sure I'm saying the right thing. So in the United Kingdom, in Britain, the British government are telling British citizens that the rights of non-British citizens outweigh their rights. That's what they're saying quite openly. They're going on TV. It's not something that people are hiding behind and saying, oh no, that's not what we meant. What we actually meant is, in this case, yada yada yada. They're not even trying to flim-flammer it. So let me just give you this quick interview, guys. This was posted by Elon Musk earlier on today.
Your lawyers, under your guidance, have said in terms that the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local people in Epping Forest. Would you at least acknowledge that that is what they will hear. And it's up to you. Ministers can say, we agree with that, or we don't agree with it. You can't simply say, let's balance things. Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do. But
how do you, like, you know, like, how do you go, like, where do you go from that, guys? Like, and if you don't understand, and I know, like, you know, some people will be saying, oh yeah, we've known that for years. Yeah, it's different thinking something, but when it's written in law, when judges are saying it, how does it make you feel? Listen, guys, I do need to keep coming back to the crux of this live stream, okay? Chaos is coming to the United Kingdom. I would say chaos is already here. Templars, you will start to see the Templar cross. Look, guys, you know, mark this video, because the George's cross will naturally evolve into a Templar cross. You've got to think about the logistics. It's easy to do. It's more significant. And look, it's quite terrifying. It's quite, I mean, can you imagine, right? Can you imagine? Just look, guys, and I'm not saying, just imagine this, right? Imagine you are of a certain demographic, okay? Right? Imagine you're of a certain demographic, right? And you've been accused of doing something to a 13-year-old girl with your brothers and 6 of your mates, all right? Just pretend that, all right? And you got let off on a technicality, all right? But everybody knows where you live, and everybody knows what you've done. Can you imagine what the significance, if that guy's house, if somebody goes and puts spray paint on that house, puts a Templar cross on that house, can you imagine what's going to happen? It's going to be carnage, guys, and nobody's going to know who's done it. It's not going to be like and people know now not to stand up and not to put their head above the parapet. And can you guys remember last year? Can you remember last year? I was standing there in a fantastic orange shirt. It was a really nice orange shirt. I was standing there and I gave the analogy of a boiling pan. And all Keir Starmer has done by giving people long prison sentences, he's bolted that top on. But the flame is still there. That flame is still there. And it's going to explode, guys. It's going to explode. Now, what's happening is, and you're seeing it now, people are seeing, right, if I go to a protest, I'm going to get arrested. So people are going underground. People are starting to wear masks. People are starting to be a faceless idea. And that idea will be a Templar cross. There you go, guys. I'm telling you what's coming. It might happen. It might have already started in some places. I don't know. But you will see that evolve, because you've got to think of the logistics. You've got to think of the significance. So that's the next step, guys. You'll see these people who are putting graffiti with the George's cross. That George's cross will turn into a Templar cross. Mark my words. Deza on TikTok is saying, guys, listen, I do apologize if I'm not getting everyone's chat, if I'm not getting everyone's messages on the chat, guys. I do apologize. The chat's open and they're all flying up. Deza is saying, what's that flag meaning? What do you mean, the cross of St. George or the Templar cross? So the cross of St. George is the story of George and the Dragon. Basically, St. George, he comes up, he has a scrap with the dragon beats him down. St. George says, no, all right, you beat me once, I'm going to get back up, I'm going to fight again. Over time, St. George, the dragon's a lot more powerful, but because St. George did not give in, he eventually won the battle because the dragon was done. The Templar cross, it signifies Christianity. It signifies martyrdom. It signifies a willingness to devote your life and to martyr yourself to protect Christianity. And it's not far away, that, guys. It's not far away. That's the next step that I think. Yeah, that's the next step that's coming, guys. Ultimately, guys, that's what's coming next, because people will be putting those Templar crosses out, and that's when people need to be really terrified. Google it is saying, Sean, the economy is going to crash. Our debt is also going to be to explode. We are done. We are done. Google it. We're done. We're done, and we just pretend we're like. It's like we're in a car crash at the moment in slow motion. We really are in a car crash in slow motion. Tilly on YouTube is saying the Templar W. What's the Templar W? Have I missed something here? I'm pretty sure it's the Templar cross. Let me just Google the Templar W. This may be something I don't know. I don't know what the Templar W. There is nothing. What is the Templar W? Oh, it was a glitch. Right. Okay. Sorry. I thought there was some new esoteric symbol that I didn't know of, and I was like, I was shocked there was something to do with Templars that I didn't know. Right, my internet connection's going again on. Guys, am I still streaming on TikTok? I think I froze on TikTok. I think I froze. I don't know. Yeah, I think I froze on TikTok, guys. I really do. I'm pretty sure I froze on TikTok. Anyway, we'll just come on to you guys on YouTube. Matt is saying, us Templars will protect all women and children. I mean, that's a pretty powerful statement there from Matt. That is a massive statement. Sorry, guys, it's the TikTok going crackers. It's disconnected me. I think I'm gone on TikTok. I started talking about Templars and Templar crosses, and it just took me off TikTok straight away. I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, look, guys, I've not done this yet. I know I need to do this some more. We're triple streaming tonight, as always. We are on YouTube, we are on X, and we are on TikTok. Listen, Matt over on YouTube has just thrown Matt, this statement from Matt is really powerful. I'm going to read it out. I may get restricted. Matt over on YouTube, look, guys, I'm just reading Matt's comment. He's saying, Templars will protect all women and children. Our blood will spill to protect this motherland from all evil. That is, that's a very powerful statement. And will put the public first, unlike the police. You have my word. I mean, what's going to happen? Like, what would happen if the Pope just came out and said, "We're going on another crusade"? Like, what would happen then? Like, what? I mean, the bishop. Have you seen the Archbishop of Canterbury? I mean, honestly, we need to get rid of that guy. He's honestly, the Archbishop of Canterbury. I'm not going to get into that, guys. Tilly is saying you need to come to Israel and visit the Templar tunnel in Acre. I'd love to visit the Templar tunnels. I would love to visit the Templar tunnels. I would honestly. I may have to go down onto my knees and do something really, really dramatic. Rocketman Gaming is saying, thing is, Sean, people are protesting to try and make change, but if they don't, yes, exactly. Listen, you guys are getting it now, right? Everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting what's coming next. Everybody understands what's coming next. Rocketman Gaming has just hit the nail on the head. He's over on YouTube. He's saying, sorry, guys, I digressed. My brain digressed. Rocketman Gaming is saying, thing is, Sean, people are protesting to try and make a change, but if they don't see any changes, they will feel like violence is the only answer. This is what happens. like, I'm not saying that this is what, oh, I want this to happen. No. What I'm saying is, historically, this is how the game works. Like, you don't even have to look that far back. Literally, look at the Troubles in Northern Ireland. This is exactly what happened. You know, this is exactly what happened in Northern Ireland. You know, the government didn't, the people didn't feel like the government were listening to them. You know, and that was it was just a mess. And that's what's coming, guys. It really is what's coming. But here in the United Kingdom now, we have got so many different factions, so many different groups and counter groups, and all sorts of wild stuff that's happening. There's going to be so much segregation. Honestly, guys, it's going to be wild. And the fact, you know, and the fact that nobody is, and the fact that it's not just the fact that nobody is listening. People are listening, but there's a very small amount of people in government who are just listening, but they're not doing anything. Now, that's not me being dramatic. That's not me being, what's the word I'm looking for? That's not me being anti-government and speculating. I'm literally repeating what our own government has said, which is the rights of non-British citizens outweigh the rights. I can't believe I'm saying it every time, guys. I mean, literally, I understand how the brain works with cognitive dissonance. So I did a lot of this in the military. So when you're in the military, you get taught about cognitive dissonance, because if you go into a room, and when like military units have to go into rooms, what I'm talking about here is, I'm trying to use nice language, where you go into a room and the military have been called in to go into a room, that bad stuff is going to be in that room. And the brain, naturally, if you're not used to seeing it and you're not desensitized, your brain won't see it. Your brain will make something up. Your brain will say, oh, no, that can't be it. A good example of this is, I was speaking to, there's a guy I know, and he says, we talk about the incident. He says he saw a man with a red scarf. Just let you know, guys, it wasn't a red scarf. All right, that's all I'm saying. But in his head, because cognitive dissonance, he didn't think that was what it was. He thought he had a red scarf around his neck, and it definitely wasn't. But what I'm getting at here is, guys, sorry, guys, cognitive dissonance. Every time I have to say this, my cognitive dissonance kicks in, and I'm like, and I do laugh to myself about it. So the government in the United Kingdom are literally against, I don't know how else to say this. I don't know how else to say this. The government are, I want to didactify this. The government appear, I'm going to say that. The government appear to be against their own people. Look, guys, Keir Starmer may do a smithering, and it may turn out to be holier than holy. He may turn out, there may have been some 4D chess move, and you know, he's had to play this card because there was a greater evil at play, and you know, he may be waving. I don't know. I think that's unlikely, you know, but I'm going to say that, guys. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to be as objective as I can. It appears that the government are against their own people. So when we talk about, you know, what's coming next, you are going to see the rise of this Templar cross and the symbolism, you know, the symbolism that surrounds that. James is saying there's a real dragon's head in Dorset. Right. I'm going to pin it, but there's a museum in Dorset with a real dragon's head. I mean, what do we mean by dragon first? I like terrible lizard. Glenn is saying, are we going to become the 51st state? Obviously talking there about the American takeover of the United Kingdom. I think it's an inevitability at this point, guys. The worst, this, like, if you have some scales, right? If you have some scales, Lady Justice, I bet she's been taken down now. She's I don't know, she's not woke enough. So imagine some scales. When I first started talking about this, the scales were like that. And it would, people were like, oh, Sean, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's never going to happen. Over time, be honest, guys, over time, what's happened over this last year? Be honest, over this last year, it does look like there's a feeling, like big, and again, like I said this, I said, what's going to happen if somebody, and I even said Elon Musk, I said, what's going to happen if, people like somebody like Elon Musk puts a post out and says, I will pay legal fees and I will pay legal representation for anyone who's arrested and sent to prison at this protest, or something like that. I can't remember the exact words. This was a year ago, guys. This was a year ago when I was doing videos. That's going to legitimize, and it's gonna, and it lets people know that they're not alone. And ultimately, that's what I think the Cross of St. George does. It lets people know that they're not alone. You're feeling down, you think the world's closing in on you, and you see the Cross of St. George, and you're like, you know what? I am not alone. But that's going to evolve. So remember what I talk about with protests. Out of every 100 people, you get like one who's going to go crackers. Well, think about it this way. For every 100 people who are putting up George's crosses, you might get one person who's willing to put up, and they understand, and they're putting that Templar cross up with every understanding the significance of it. Now that's where it's coming, guys. That is what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. So, in the short term, we've got the Templarization of the George's Cross. And again, like, you've got to think of the logistics. Like, if you want to draw, like, I don't know, Stars and Stripes flag, you can imagine somebody, you've got to have 3 cans of paint. You've got to do the little square in the top, then the stars, 50 stars. And then you've got to do the 13 lines, different colors. It's a faff. It's an absolute faff. If you want to draw the Palestinian flag, you've got to draw like the triangle and then the other triangles. You've got to have 4 different. It's a faff. It's a faff. How long it's a faff? If you're drawing the St. George's Cross, it's really easy. It's quick, and you need a tin of red spray paint. Logistically, it's easy. And the more this happens, the more it empowers people to go further. So this is how it starts. Group of young lads just left school. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking about this golden generation, like the golden generation of kids right now. If you're 16 and under, of course, if you're 17, of course, if you're 18, but if you are 16 and under now, that generation are going to rebuild this country. That's the way it is, guys. And they're going to rebuild this country because they're going to grow up in all this crap. They're going to grow up through this. And then their children, they will be the next boomers. And hopefully we can see some space exploration and some real stuff that stops us fighting each other. Sorry, guys, I was digressing. So what I'm talking about here is this is how it starts. So the George's Cross, logistically now, we all know what it signifies. We've seen the crosses, we've seen the flags. I mean, I don't know how much of the flags, guys. What are they, like 5-10 quid? You pay 5-10 quid, you can put one flag up. You buy a tin of spray paint. What is it? 3 quid or something? I don't know. 4 quid, a fiver. How many George's crosses do you think you can do with a tin of spray paint? And this is what I'm talking about. This is where it evolves. And this is why I give you guys such accurate understanding of what's coming. because you've got to look at where these things are going to evolve to. So, sorry, guys, digressing back. So you're a young kid now. You've just left school. There's no jobs. There isn't. There's no jobs. None. Your mum and dad are struggling, you know, because there's no jobs. There's no work. Nobody's spending. Like, and you're seeing all this stuff happen around the country. So those kids are going to get angry. They're going to unite together. So now you've got, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going on to different dynamics. So young kids just left school, couple of them, they're 13, 14, 15, 16, no jobs, no infrastructure, nothing. So they go out one night with a tin of red spray paint, they put crosses everywhere. Yeah, we had a right good time. They hear people, local people saying, yeah, we saw that cross of St. George. It was proper, hey, good look, they've done it all here. It's brilliant, I think. And they're empowered. They think it's brilliant. So they think, right, what are we going to do next? Let's go to a hotel. Come on, let's do the cross of St. George on a hotel. So they run into a hotel. They put the cross of St. George on a hotel. Then what happens? Somebody catches them, gives them a beating. And you see how things evolve. And then the next thing is, honestly, guys, you will start to see the Templar cross being spray painted. It's easy to do. It's easy to do, guys, the Templar cross. It's just like, I think it's 2 extra lines. But what that simplifies. Pole shift is right. We're going on pole shift, guys. Pole shift is being very polite. Pole shift is saying, believe it or not, all roads lead to the pole shift. Well, listen, pole shift. Here's a serious question, right? All my questions are serious, obviously. I've been saying all roads lead to Antarctica. So do we think they're connected? If there is a pole shift, would the Earth, if there is a pole shift, would the Earth move or would the poles just shift? So that's why I'm saying, to pole shift. Because obviously, he's called pole shift income. And he's obviously done a lot of research on it. So what I'm saying is, look, we do this in real time, guys. I never know what questions we're going to get. So pole shift is saying, believe it or not, all roads are leading to a pole shift. It's coming. I believe you as well. There was the experiment that the Russians did in space. They were spinning a nut, and the nut came off. The nut came off the bolt, and it was spinning. It was a wing nut. You can see this on YouTube. So the wing nut now is spinning, and then all of a sudden, just randomly, it turns. And they're like, what? And then it turns back again. And then it turns. And what people, and it was kept a massive secret for years, because do you know what else is in space and spinning? Yeah, planets. So yeah, maybe a pole shift is coming, and my thesis that we're all going to move down to Antarctica, what that really means is, whoa, we've cracked it, ladies and gentlemen. We have just cracked the story of Noah's Ark. Right, hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is wild. I do this real time, okay? So where's pole shift going? So pole shift, right. Malik's trying to join. No, Malik, go away. Right. So pole shift is saying, this is how my brain works, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I am more intelligent than 98% of the population. And of the other 2%, 50% of those guys don't need to bother. So pole shift's coming, right, is saying there's a pole shift on its way. I was just following this through, thinking about how things move forwards and where this leads to, playing it out in my head. So hear me out, guys, right? So we all know the story of the biblical flood, right? We all know that story. Could it be that the biblical flood was a pole shift, wiped everyone out, and the people that fled to a different part of the earth, like, I don't know, like what would then be the pole? When the pole shifted, they were the ones that were alive. I don't know. I'm just throwing these things out there, guys. I don't know. Maybe we're right. Rachel Samantha is saying, right, yeah, guys, listen, this was fake news. I swear I've just heard 2 gunshots. Give me a second, guys. No, it's a chav in a car. It was a chav car, guys. It was a chav car. But have you seen the moon, guys? Listen, guys, can we all look at the moon? Can you all look at the moon right now? Can we all look at the moon right now, guys? If you're in the United Kingdom, because it is a powerful moon tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's a half moon and it's orange. Yeah, sorry, guys. Rachel Samantha, yeah, did you hear about the attempted shooter in Chelsea Football Club yesterday? Yeah, so it was a kid and he was going to like a Comic-Con event and he was all dressed up as like something. The police arrested him, and he was dressed up like one of those peoples, but it was all cosplay. Sergeant Gunnery saying you have to fight for the right to party. Listen, guys, can you remember when talking about parties? Can you guys remember when the world was supposed to be coming to an end in 2012? The world is like, you know, the world in Earth. When the world was supposed to be coming to an end in 2012, I was actually in Baghdad at that time. It was the 21st of December 2012. Just as we were talking about pie, we had end of the world barbecue in Baghdad, and even to this day, it's known as one of the best parties Baghdad's ever seen. So Debbie Doobs is saying, yeah, do you know what, Debbie? This is a good question, because I think this is a nothing burger. I really do. So Debbie Doobs is saying, Sean, what's your thoughts on the Bell Hotel migrant showing guns on his phone? Honestly, guys, I don't see any issue with it at all. You know, I mean, what you've got to understand is, in a lot of like most of the rest of the world, firearms are just like, you know, a normal part of daily life. And the fact that he's got some pictures on his phone of him with whatever, I don't see an issue with it. I really don't. I think there's a lot more issues to be worried about. You know, like the pointy things that you eat your dinner with, that's not a fork or a spoon. I think they're the big problem. Cars, trucks, dump trucks, they're the things that I'd really be worried about. But what I will say is, I do also believe that there is a mass. I believe there's masses of munitions brought into the United Kingdom, and I believe these will be brought over by people smugglers, dragged at the side of boats. I think that is coming into the United Kingdom, guys. I really do. I think I'll talk about that further on YouTube, but I do believe there'll be a significant amount of munitions smuggled into the United Kingdom. Jomase Poe is saying the biggest worry in the world is vindictive ex-wives. Rose is saying I agree with you. Yeah, and I do think there is a big amount of those things here. Wasn't the whistleblower TikTok who worked at the hotel of? Yeah, look, guys, I've seen lots of these videos of so-called whistleblowers, and their stories don't add up, guys. Their stories don't add up. When if it's something to do with the military, tanks, guns, bombs, trains, planes, automobiles, tactics, strategy, I'm all over that. I'm all over it, guys. I've done this at the highest level. I've literally done this at the highest level in British government. And they're just little things that they say in these, in these accounts. It doesn't make sense. Like, I was listening to one whistleblower and he was saying, yes, I came out and there was 2 military personnel standing there. I'm like, right, okay. First of all, if something like this is happening, the military won't have anything to do with it. It will be subcontracted to a private company, which will be ex-military. 100% they'd be ex-military. They would have, I'm not going to tell you the type of ID, but you can get civilian ID that will, that you can show the police a certain civilian ID and they'll just not they'll just say, right, okay, fair enough, I'm going. You can get those IDs. I'm not going to tell you what they're called, but you can get those. I almost split it. You can get those. You can get that ID. Civilians can get that identification whereby you show it to the police say, yeah, I'm not authorized to deal with this civilian. So that's who would be doing that. Wouldn't be the military. The next thing they said, so obviously to say that they're military means they're wearing military uniforms, I would assume. Now, the next thing they said was, I spoke to the guy and he was a colonel. Right, okay. Colonels don't do that. Trust me, that's like, that job would be like, if it was military, delivering stores to a location, that would be like maybe 2 privates and a junior NCO, 3 privates and a junior NCO. Like that is, or troopers or whatever your unit structured. That's what would be delivering that thing. So straight away, I'm like, right, that doesn't make any sense. And then they said, they showed me paperwork that was authorized from 10 Downing Street. There's no such thing as a 10 Downing Street authorization. It would be authorized from the Home Office, and that carries the correct weight. So straight away in these things, guys, you know, I see a lot of cracks, and I don't see any credibility. I don't see any credibility in those accounts. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying it's not happening. If I was to do it, all I do is I put it in one of those metal storage containers outside the hotel that people think's got like the old furniture from the hotel in it or something. You know, I'd give the hotel staff the keys to 3 of those containers, but the 4th container, they don't have the keys to it. Simple, nondescript. No one knows what's there. Nobody's got a reason to go in there. You know, these hotels are heavily guarded anyway. So, you know, that is where you would have it. You wouldn't have that crate of potential munitions in a place that could be accidentally seen. Like you can imagine, can't you? If like, you know, some of these like, I don't know, these like hotel audit channels went, you can imagine, can't you? If one of the hotel audit channels went in and he's like, we're in here, look at the food they've got. Oh, look at the food they've got. Oh, so have some chicken pasta. Yeah, that's 2 months in jail. Oh, what? You've got kids nicking. You've got black kids stealing drinks from Greg's blatantly. Yeah, that's fine. All right, okay, whatever. You know, you can imagine, can't you? Like one of these like online auditors go into that hotel and they open the box. Yeah, oh yeah, look at the nice weapons they've got. Oh yeah, God, they're brand new. Them look at the serial numbers. They were made in the 80s. Them never been fired. I wonder where they've been hidden. So yeah, again, I'm not saying it's not happening. What I'm saying is, if it is happening and those stores have been brought in by the government, and guys, look, I will be clear on this. I think it's unlikely. But as we move forwards and more revelations come out, that likelihood becomes higher. So here's one for you guys. Here's one for you, right? Here's one for you lot. If the government believe that British citizens are second-class citizens, I don't know if they do. Let's just say if they do, who would they want to arm? Who would they want to protect and arm first? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I do feel it unlikely, guys. I do. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. What I'm saying is the information I've seen, and I've got no information more than you guys have, it's not credible. If somebody would have said, I saw these crates going into this storage container, when I tried to get into it, you know, it had gone. Sorry, when I tried to get into it, the security guard came out, the police were there, they told me to go. The next day I went back with my mates and some bolt croppers and it had all been cleared out. That would have more credibility, to me anyway, that would have more credibility, because that hits all the points. You know, somebody saying he was a colonel general and he had a special forces beret. Like special forces guys don't wear, they don't like special forces guys don't wear uniform, guys. Trust me, all right? They don't like, you know, they don't cruise around in uniform with like some sort of SAS badge on their shoulders. They don't do that. Sorry, guys. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump over to YouTube. I can see people are talking about Alex Jones on YouTube. Guys, I think it's going to be a wild one over on YouTube, guys. I really do. I think it's going to be... Oh, hang on. Hang on, what's going off here? Right, Christoph is saying, I was in intelligence and there are munitions out there. No, Christoph. Okay, so guys, listen, let me be clear, because I think people are getting two things mixed up here. Right, first question. Have I watched the so-called have I seen the videos of the so-called whistleblowers that saw people bringing munitions into hotels? Yes. Do I think it's credible? No, I don't think that's credible. Do I think munitions could have been smuggled into the United Kingdom? Absolutely. I would say if they haven't, it's, you know, I would say that as an almost certainty. As an almost certainty, masses of munitions have been smuggled into the United Kingdom. I would say that is that's an almost certainty. Has it been done in the way that people are saying? I struggle to see that, guys. I really do. I really do struggle to see that. So you've got to understand there's two different aspects here. When I'm talking about it, it may seem like I'm taking credibility away from one, but I'm not. I'm just saying the way that it's being presented to me, I just don't see it. Hang on, guys. John is saying, I see it as an attack upon the people of Epping. Well, it's not just an attack on the people of Epping, is it? It's an attack on everybody. Like, it's an attack, like, when you set this legal precedent, that's it then. You know, so next time, somebody's, so the next time somebody's in court, you know, that judge understands now that the rights of a non-British citizen outweigh the rights of a British citizen. That's happened now, guys. That's there. That's in the legal system. Nicholas Priest is saying, is Trump going to save us? No, we're going to save ourselves and we're going to become part of the United States. That's what I'm saying. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, I am going to close this down on YouTube now. I'm not going to close it down on YouTube. I'm going to close this down on, TikTok. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. We're going to continue on YouTube. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the crux of this video, the crux of this live stream is chaos in the United Kingdom. Templars, the Templar cross will supersede and it will come next after the George's cross. So many reasons. I've just talked about that, guys, you know, and what that signifies. What comes next is going to be dark. We're going to have segregation. We're going to have, we don't go in that part of the town because that's like where the Somalians are. Oh, we don't go in that part of the town because that's where the Afghanis are. Oh, those woods, you know, we don't go into those woods anymore because people from the woodland realm live in there. You know, that's what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be like, hang on. It's going to be like Northern Ireland, but on absolute steroids, guys. It is. It's going to be absolutely wild. And mark my words, people will start to use the Templar cross. They will. They will. It's just the next evolution, guys. You know, when people think the government are not listening to them. And guys, listen, I'm going to play this as the last thing on TikTok. Okay, this is, I think she's like, I don't know. This is an MP, a Labour MP, and she's asked several times if she believes with the government that. Well, you'll hear it yourselves.
Your lawyers, under your guidance, have said in terms that the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local people in Epping Forest. Would you at least acknowledge that that is what they will hear? And it's up to you. Ministers can say, we agree with that, or we don't agree with it. You can't simply say, let's balance things. Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do.
And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to switch over to TikTok because I don't think I can. I'm going to switch over to YouTube because I don't think I can contain my rage. Right, guys, I'm going to be on TikTok. I'm going to be on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on X. Go follow the show on YouTube, guys. I am turning TikTok off now, and I'll be back on tomorrow at 10. And we're off. We are off. Yes, we are off. Right, guys, let me jump up and get comments. Hello, everyone. It's like we've switched over to the Watershed channel now, isn't it? Like, you know, I don't swear, but I feel like if I wanted to swear, I feel like I could. Right, guys, let me jump up and get some questions. Slim is saying, I don't know. Slim is saying, I don't know if I know it. I am one of those people that go repeatedly and remember a roundabout. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Slim. Maybe that's in response to something else you said before. Tracy Doll is saying, don't feel that blessed at the minute. I'm not long in soaked to the skin. All right, where have you been, Tracy Doll? Tracy Doll's been out and she's soaked to the skin. She I don't know, Tracy. You need a waterproof coat because we've got some good ones on our showcase. Positive. No way, guys. We should have the whole live stream on this. Positive. Stop the clock, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Stop the clock. Positive programming for mind, body, and spirit is saying I've written 2 books, 2 alien books. A comedy, An Alien Poked Me, or Error as Not As It Seems, and the other is An Intergalactic Christmas. The more I think about my books, the closer it seems to truth. Tell me more. I need to know more about your alien books. What do you think, guys? Are the aliens right? Look, guys, are the aliens coming on this asteroid or not? Like, are they coming on this asteroid, and that's why the chaos is now? And then that little the meme that Donald Trump posted earlier, where he's like this, and it says something like, you won't believe what's coming, or I can't, something like that. I can't remember what it was. I saw it just as I came out. MorphFX saying, I thought you were going to say fine for the carbon footprint of oak tree. Oh, right, what they're talking. Right. Sorry. Right, let me jump down, guys. Let me jump down. Call of Duty Vids is saying, I hope they can take all of the crap that's going on. Are the aliens, right, guys, look, if the aliens come, right, are we just going to get probed? Or are they going to, like, I don't know why, what are they going to do? I would be hesitant. I would rather the aliens did not come. I'm putting it out there. I am not team alien. I'm not team alien at all. But if they do come, are they just going to probe us all or something? Debbie Doobs is saying, all I can say is it would, do you know what, Debbie Doobs? Debbie Doobs, right? Me and my, when I'm on the group chat and we're talking, like, me and my friends, like 2 of them are from Ukraine. One of them's, 2 of them are from America. You know, we don't really get together that often. But the last time we were all together, we were just talking and we was talking about the aliens coming and we was laughing. But now as we talk more, we're just saying, yeah, like it would not surprise me, right? It wouldn't, like, if the aliens came down, I'd be like, well, it's 2025. I mean, what else? What else is it? Like 2020? Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I do share your opinion, Debbie Doobs. Plymouth tattoo removal. He said, out of curiosity, are we now at a point where if an attack happens, civilian will take up arms ourselves? Look, guys. Okay, earlier on today, I've done quite a few videos. And I do believe there is a threat. Unfortunately, you know what? It's not me that believes it. The data is pointing towards it. And I do believe the data. So there are so many data points right now pointing to an attack on a school, a primary school, because they're defenseless. So I've done the videos on what the government advice is if that does happen and you get that text message, your school's on lockdown. I've also done the advice where what to happen if you're in an active shooter scenario, like, you know, you're in that active shooter scenario, what to do, run, hide, fight. I do think the likelihood is high. I think the first 2 weeks of September are going to be absolutely crucial. And I wouldn't if somebody wanted to take their kids off school, look, I'm not saying anyone should take their kids off school, but in fact, you know what? Let's look at the data points here. Let's look at the data points, all right? America, we had the school, was it a Catholic school shooting? Catholic church school shooting. We had the all over the United Kingdom now, you're seeing migrants gathering outside schools at home time, taking pictures. What are they doing? Like, you know what? I'm not going to judge. That's what's happening. One story that I looked into quite a lot, there was a school in Doncaster and there was a migrant hotel just outside the back fence. I may be getting some of the points slightly different here, but you can Google it yourselves. Doncaster school migrants, and you'll get it. There was a school in Doncaster, migrant hotel, and the migrants were, I believe the migrants were going into the school, and this was like a junior school, and the migrants were going into the school at dinner time and just sitting down and having a little chat with the kids. You know, just having a little chat with the kids. Oh, it's dinner time. Yeah, I'm going to go in that. Like, as a, you know, I identify as a white Christian man. What, like, that isn't in my vocabulary. So you've got to understand that maybe the mindset's a little bit different. It then came out that the parents had started patrolling around that school because the migrants were going up to the back fence. At dinner time. Again, no laws in walking in the woods at dinner time, guys. No laws at all. It's just creepy stuff that Western men don't do. Lots of data points pointing towards it. One of the things I've always said, like always, and you can go really far back when I was standing as a candidate for reform. One of the things I was saying is, people in this country, we have no legal framework to protect ourselves. None. Zero. We don't have anything. What we have is we can vote every 4 years, and if we don't like the way things are being run, we vote to government. But like, honestly, guys, how's that going for everyone? Like, how's the voting thing going? So, you know, if there was a mass attack on schools, we would have no legal right to take up arms. It would be illegal. That's all I'm saying. It would be illegal. If people took up arms, it would be illegal, and those people would be arrested, and they would have heavy prison sentences. That is the reality, guys. It's the unfortunate reality. But, you know, well, I'm not even saying but, because it is the unfortunate reality. And that's when I think US intervention would have to happen. I do, guys. And I've been critical over Trump. I've been critical over JD Vance. I've been critical over Elon Musk massively. I think that's the way it's going to happen. I think that's what would happen. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, how many times have I said that? If the government passed a law that we had to give our firstborn child to the government, and that child's never seen again, think what you want's happening to it, it's up to you, you know, but we never see that child, the police would enforce that. And they'd say, I'm just doing my job. I'm only doing my job. You kind of understand how the Germans got away with it. Right, guys, I'm jumping down now. Lots of comments jumping up. Lots of comments jumping up. James is saying, let's face it, an attack is going to happen. I believe so, James. I do. I really do. Let's face it, an attack is going to happen. The authorities will try and cover it up again and probably blame concerned and frightened parents. Yeah, but you've got to understand as well, there's masses of ideological subversion being absolutely force-fed into the United Kingdom right now, guys. And the more you understand it, the more you see it. And it's unbelievable. Like, you know, all these people, like these paid stooges, you know, these like pro-Palestine guys with the placards, and they all turn up at the corner and they get I don't know if they get paid. And then I know they all get their placards because I've seen them. They all get their, and I told you guys about that long before it broke, like long before other people were talking about it. I was saying to you guys, where are they getting these placards from? Look at the font. I know this because I've done all those jobs. I've done those jobs in the military where you're there standing on with a riot shield, rear front, rear front, rear front. You know, I've done that job. I've been in the crowds trying to make covert arrests. I've been in the van with we didn't have facial recognition back then. I've been in the van with a CCTV camera. Well, yeah, I guess CCTV camera. You know, trying to identify ringleaders. I've done all those jobs. And I know that when people turn up to a protest with handwritten placards on a piece of cardboard, visually, they're grassroots because they don't have that funding. When people turn up with a placard, all exactly the same, all in the same color pigment, all in the same font, and they're all chanting the same slogan, somebody's funding that. Who? I don't know. Follow the money, you'll find out. It'd be easy to follow the money. Right, where'd you get that placard from? Oh, I got it at that street corner. Who was standing there? Oh, Steve, he's always there. All right, Steve, where did you get them placards from? Oh, who are you? I'm the police. Just tell me, mate. Don't be a dick. All right, I got it from this guy. Right, okay. Hello, mate. Do you supply placards? Yes, mate. Yes, I do. Right, can I find out where you are? Yeah, no worries. Right, where did you get them from? Oh, I got them from this guy. Right, where did he get them from? Oh, he got them printed. Where was the printer? That's the printing company. How did you pay? I paid on a card. Right, okay, show me your bank statements. Where did that come from? You chased the money. Easy, easy. Raven can do that. I don't have the authority to do that, but it's very easy to do. Women on the mid-meg. I don't know. I think I must have missed your last comment, Lisa. Women on the megaphone was making my ears bleed. The Calaz Info Warrior is saying, if the globalists win, will genocide... Every time I hear that word, globalist, I think of Alex Jones. When the globalists win, we're in the fight, people. We're in the fight. We're in the final end of the fight, guys. The globalists cannot win. I love Alex Jones, guys. I do. I'm not throwing dirt on Alex Jones. I do love watching him. The Calaz Info Warrior, is saying, if the globalists win, they will genocide 99% of humans and replace with cyborg slaves. Wow, that is wild. That is wild. I mean, I'll go with it. I'll go with it, guys. We're talking about aliens. Well, I'll talk about cyborg slaves. I'll go with that, guys. I'll draw that smoky gun wagon. Wouldn't it be just easier to give us like a brain chip or something and turn the existing humans into cyborg slaves? And I guess if you're getting rid of 99% of humanity, like, you kind of don't need that many slaves either, do you? Like, what do you need slaves for? You could I don't know, you could just live in, where would you live? Where's a nice place? Luxembourg is a lovely place. Yeah, probably just all go to Luxembourg or something. Like, get the 99% of the earth, the 1% of the earth, get them all nice pads in Luxembourg and just have like a cyborg slave army. I think there's more into it than that. I really do. Somebody sent me an inbox message the other day. And this is wild, guys. This is wild. It is wild. Somebody sent me a message the other day. I'm not going to mention who it was. But they said, Sean, do you think football stadiums could be energy harvesting factories? And I was like, wow, that is wild. And I was like, yeah, like think of all the energy that goes into a football match. Think of all the chanting and the cheering and the emotional energy on that area. If you were going to have an emotional energy harvester, and that goes with these like Lady Gaga, the satanic rituals that she does, all those sort of things. If you're gonna harvest, if you can, and you're gonna, because you want to, if you're gonna harvest people's energy, that's where you're gonna do it, where the energy is rife and it's powerful. Sean is saying, Slim, a tin of deep heat, it sounds ace. I think right, guys, I cannot get engaged in this type of conversation. What I will say is, in the United Kingdom, guys, you're not allowed to, only criminals carry weapons in the UK, guys, all right? Only criminals carry weapons in the UK. If you come across a criminal and they're attacking you, you can phone the police. You can phone 999. And you can phone the police and wait for an officer to arrive. Stop taking all the big pharma vaccines, says Kalaz Info Warrior. Here's a question, guys. I may get restricted for this, but like, the thing that everybody had to have, like 2 of, that didn't stop you getting the thing, but you had to have it because it stopped you spreading the thing. Like, how many people? I mean, we didn't have it, and I've never had it, if that makes sense. So I never had the thing, and I never caught the thing either. So I'd like to know if there's a statistic of people who had the thing and then caught the thing loads afterwards versus people who never had the thing. Now, I know that statistic could be a little bit skewed because I would speculate that the people who never had the thing, look, guys, I know it's wild, but you've got to be very careful what you say. The people who never had the thing, they're not going to get tested either. Matt is saying he's a pure blood. Yeah, pure blood, prime blood. Slim is saying my old aching joints love a bit of deep heat. Lisa Milbank. Oh no, that's Debbie Dukes. Lisa Milbank is saying I'm all but 100%. 100. My sin has additional because I had to go to hospital to give birth. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? It's absolutely terrible. Yeah, Rian G. Yeah, I have seen this. So Dr. John Campbell, he dropped a video like recently, it might have been last week or something. And there's a Japanese study of 18 million people. What they found is the mortality rate within the first year of the people. So, let me digress. Let me give context. There's a study done of 18 million people, and there's 2 charts he shows, and these 2 charts are overlaying each other. Now, there's 2 lines. There's the excess mortality rate of the people who didn't at the bottom, and it's just flat and normal. And then there's the other curve, and it goes massively up. It peaks, I think, at 6 months. And then it starts to trough at 1 year. And then it floats slightly above the average. Wild times, guys. Wild times. James is saying, no way was I having it. Sorry, guys, I'm just jumping up the chat here. Yeah, so I've done. Yeah, we definitely saw that. The Dr. Campbell's video. And guys, go and watch it as well. Like, go and watch those videos because they're really good. Carol Brown is saying, I have a bad back. I need deep. Right. Okay. We're all talking about deep heat, guys. We're all talking about deep heat. Can we stop talking about deep heat? I know the hidden subtext here, guys. I know what the hidden subtext is. Oh God, Carol, condolences, Carol. D. Marie Gen X is saying, did you see the immigration problem with Japan, with Middle Eastern men in dresses? It's wild, only seen it tonight. Yeah. So Japan have got a massive fall in birth rate. Like the birth rate in Japan is like going. Look, guys, the problem here is when. And again, it comes back to aliens. This is how my mind has gone. When a civilization evolves to an extent, they stop having kids. You know, it just happens. So I don't know. You think like, I don't know. Think 100 years ago, right? 100 years ago, you work in the farm, all right? You work in the farm, and you need more people to till those fields. So you and your missus are banging out bin lids to go and till those fields. And those kids by the age of like 8 and 9, you know, they're helping out on the farm, and that's making your farm more productive. Now you have kids, they just look at the phone. They don't, you know, they look at their phone. They tell you they're hungry. When you bring them a dinner, they say, I don't like that anymore. And you say, you loved it 3 days ago. And they say, yeah, but I don't like it anymore. So so now it's totally different. I mean, do you know what? I think I should get the girls out tilling the fields. So what I'm getting at here, guys, is as a civilization progresses, they have less kids. That's why we've had this open door policy to migration. And I do think it's going to lead to universal basic income. So all these people that are here, you know, and people are complaining that they're not paying tax, there's going to be a totally new little guys. The financial system in the UK is broken. It's broken, guys. It's gone. It's finished. It's pretty much over. So they're going to have to usher in. A new financial system. And I do think that's going to be universal basic income, whereby, and it's a massive control as well. So what they'll do is they'll say, right, everybody gets 1,600 quid or whatever it is a month. You can still work. You still get your money. You can still work. You still go to work if you want. That'll be extra. This is on top. This is on top of what you normally get paid. So first of all, what that does is, anybody who's taking that £1,600, you then work for the government. So if you get seen at a protest, turn your universal basic income off. If there's a global emergency and everybody needs to go and drink a special glass of water, I'll just say that. This special glass of water, you've got to go to a doctor to get this special glass of water. And if you don't want to drink that special glass of water, we'll turn your universal basic income off. All right, okay, so see how it's controlled. It will also control the shops. So, for example, if you want people to spend universal basic income in your shop, you have to register and you have to be an approved shop, a government approved shop. So if you want to sell things like George's crosses, oh no, we're not going to approve you. So you see how this is like massive. Like, you honestly, guys, like I know people are struggling financially. I know it. I know they are. I see it daily. But things will be worse. Nothing good comes from universal basic income, guys. It really doesn't. You are literally selling your soul. You're selling your soul. And I don't want to sell my soul. Rocky Man Gaming is saying, if you sneeze when not told, no money, no chip, in your neck. What? If you sneeze when you're told no, money. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Guys, are some people intoxicated on the chat? Are you guys intoxicated? Have you guys come on the chat intoxicated? Sean is saying cash will always be king. Take it out, hide it, use it when needed. I don't know. I'm seeing it being phased out. I do see it come back in actually a little bit, but I can remember around the crazy times of what was it, 2020. I can remember the crazy times of 2020. I was refusing to use my card. And I would walk into a shop and cash only, love. No, sorry, card only. And it just gets to such a faff. Now, if these people who are taking the mark of the beast, who are taking the devil's pound or the devil's dollar, whatever it may be, if those shops only take card, it's going to be very difficult for, it's going to be very difficult for, excuse me, it's going to be very difficult to use cash. Rachel McCallum is saying, why did JD Vance say he's ready to be cut? Oh, so yeah, I think he was just joking. Obviously, JD Vance being deputy prime minister. Vice president. Sorry, JD Vance being vice president. That's his job. I think when he said it, he was just joking, and it's been blown out of proportion. Plymouth tattoo removal, Templar cross. What's the significance? Oh, come on, guys. You all know the significance of the Templar cross. So the Templar cross, it's like a George's cross, but it's got flayed edges at the end. It's got, I'll get one up and show you. Excuse me, I'm going to do a sneeze. Usually do 3. No, it's 1 today. It's 1. No, it's 2. It's 2. Yeah, it's 2. Sorry, guys. I'll just get up a Templar cross real quick. Sorry, guys. I'm just YouTube. I'm Googling. But hang on, let me get this on Wikipedia because I think that'll be better. In fact, I'll just read it to you guys. I'll just read it to you. So, the Templar cross, also known as the cross pate or something, symbolizes the Knights Templar faith, loyalty and readiness for martyrdom for Christianity. Granted in 1147, its red color represents the blood of Christ and the knights' willingness to die defending their faith, serving as both a religious emblem and a mark of honor, courage and authority. That's coming, guys, honestly. Now, the reason it's coming is because it's just a natural evolution of the George's cross. So I will get a picture up actually, guys, so you can see what I'm talking about. That one. Is that working? Yeah, that'll work. Give me a second, guys. Right, guys, look, this was just the first site I went to. So that's that design there is the Templar cross. And that is a natural evolution of the George's cross. So you can imagine, these kids and they're running around and they're with their spray paint, to do the George's cross, it's simple. It's no harder to do that. But the significance of it and people are what it symbolizes. That's what's coming, guys. It really is. And it will happen. Logistically, it will happen. I guess spiritually, it'll happen as well. It has to happen. Evan Rickard is saying, Sean, can you give me your true opinion? True opinion, is that is that contradicting? My true opinion on how Home Office has confirmed the fact that migrants have. No, I can't. So Evan Rickard here is asking, Sean, can you give your true opinion on how the Home Office has confirmed the fact that migrants have more rights than us? Honestly, like, I wish I could. I wish I could say something. I'm speechless, genuinely. It's one of those things that's absolutely beyond belief. It's not just fringe far right groups with skinheads and tattoos. Yeah, these people come to our country and they treat us like a second-class citizen. Like, it's literally judges, barristers, and members of parliament openly saying it. I wish I don't know what to say. So no, I mean, I think, okay, let's work it out. Let's work it out then. So I think, and I'm going to try and be as objective as I can be, but nobody's given this explanation. The explanation I'm going to give you now, nobody's given this. The only explanation I can think, and it's a wrong explanation, it's not right, it should never have happened. They must have been told that because these migrants are fleeing persecution, I can't even say that. I can't even say that. I don't know. The Callas Infowars is saying, oh yeah, I have seen that movie. Do you know what? Actually, it's funny. Callas Info Warrior. I only saw this movie. It's got Rowdy Randy Savage. Is it Rowdy Randy Savage? The actor. He's like a wrestler. He's like a wrestler in the 80s. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it's not relevant. So the movie They Live, I only watched it like a couple of months ago, and I was like, wow, that movie is awesome. And I do think he was a good actor. I can't remember what his name was. But basically, the premise of the movie is there's this guy, he's a working guy, and do they say 2025? I'm pretty sure they say 2025 in that movie as well. It's really weird how I only just anyway. So I was watching. I was flicking through, like, I don't know, terrestrial TV, because we haven't got Netflix in my bedroom. But anyway, I was flicking through terrestrial TV, and it came on this movie They Lived. I was like, all right, I'll watch this. I'll give this a little punt. Do you know how you're watching stuff? You want to watch the beginning of a movie. You don't just want to jump in halfway through. I think what had happened is I turned it on, and I thought it were all right, and then I caught it on like +1. Anyway, it's not relevant. So I'm watching this movie called They Live. And the premise of this movie is there's this working class guy. I think he's like this wrestler. I can't remember his name. And he's a good actor. And I can't remember what happens exactly, but he puts these glasses on. And when he puts these glasses on, some people are like aliens. And he looks around him and the world is totally different. There's subliminal messaging everywhere, and not everybody can see the aliens. It's only when you get these glasses on you can see the aliens. Anyway, they go back and they get to this club, and they're broadcast. Do you know what? There's more to this actually than meets the eye when I'm explaining it now. And then they go to like this club, and they're broadcasting this like frequency out on this radio station or something that's like infecting everybody into slaves. It's wild. It is wild, guys. It doesn't seem that wild now. But basically, yeah, that's the premise of the world. And they're saying that it's like the top 1% are all like these like aliens with like I don't know if they're aliens. You never really find out. But it's crazy. It's a really good film. I recommend it to anyone, guys. It's called They Live. Sorry, guys. I went on a side quest then, didn't I? Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. It's Macho Man Randy Savage. Is that? No, it wasn't. Rowdy Roddy Piper. That's it, guys. It was Rowdy Roddy Piper. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Rowdy Roddy Piper, not Macho Man Randy Savage. It's Rowdy Roddy Piper. No, it was Rowdy Roddy Piper, guys. Positive Programming is saying They Live. It's so clever and deep. Yeah, it is. And it's so relevant now, actually. Thinking about it with all these towers getting popped up and stuff. Oh, and did John Carpenter direct that? I love John Carpenter. I love Escape from New York. I love all John Carpenter's movies. Have you guys watched The Thing? Like The Thing, I think that is one of the best sci-fi. The first one. I think that is one of the best sci-fi movies ever. And Slim is saying the meteor will sort everything out. Right, listen, lady. Yeah, it was Rowdy Roddy Piper, guys. I do apologize. The main actor is Rowdy Roddy Piper. I think he plays a good role as well. Rocketman Gaming is saying, I heard we changed the radio frequency some years ago. Wonder if that was some kind of test. I don't know. Well, so radio frequencies is well understood technology. You can only transmit radio, I guess, like terrestrial radio, like I don't know, whatever your radio station is on certain bandwidths because of the atmosphere. Obviously, you get police radio, communications radio, different bandwidths that you're not allowed to use. But I don't think you can change the radio frequency. Maybe you can have a subwave operating with it. Evan Ricards is saying, I've heard there are more people in Army cadets than the British Army. It wouldn't surprise me. Look, guys, the size and strength of the British military, it's not where it needs to be to take on a potential Russian threat. It really isn't. And Rachel McClelland is saying, there's no decent films in the theatres to watch these days. I think the film industry has gone to pot. It has. It's gone woke. It has literally gone woke. I was watching Lord of the Rings with my friend maybe last night or the night before. And we were just saying, you don't get films like this. And we came to the conclusion that The Lord of the Rings is the best film that will ever be made. I was hoping for this Dune trilogy to be good, but it just didn't really do it for me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, I am going to close this down now. The crux of this live stream has been chaos in the United Kingdom. That's what we have right now. Right now, we have chaos. We will see. Look, guys, I'm putting it out there. I'm not saying we may or we may not. I'm telling you that the next thing to happen is people will start to use the Templar cross and people will start to become more aggressive with their not aggressive, more targeted with their energy. That's what's going to happen. A lot of reasons for that. Obviously, what the Templar cross signifies, logistically, if you're getting kids and they're going around spraying St. George's Cross, I guess, on buildings, it's not much different if you think about it. It's two extra lines. You spray a cross, and you do like a line there, and then you do like a line there. It's simple to do. It's not going to take realistically, it's not going to take much extra time. So that's the next evolution. And what will happen is people in small groups, because they feel they're not being listened to by the government, they're going to take matters into their own hands, and it's going to be masked vigilantes, and then you're going to get counter groups protecting other groups, and it's just going to be wild, guys. It is going to be wild. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of collateral. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to close this down now. I'm going to close it down now. I'll be back on in the morning at 10. I think, yeah, I will be on at 10. I'll see you later.